Hello, my name is Ash, a counselor in training. This is my Relatable study podcast for individuals who need help studying for their NCE, CPCE, and other related counseling exams. I'm going to go through many questions from multiple resources and make the answers relatable to both you and me. So get your listening ears on and let's get studying.
Which theorist is credited with a form of behavior therapy known as systematic desensitization? A. Joseph Waugh, B. B.F. Skinner, C. Edward Thorndike, D. Eric Beck. The answer is A. Joseph Waugh is credited for a form of behavior therapy known as systematic desensitization. Systematic desensitization is a type of exposure therapy which involves gradual exposure to a feared object or situation in a controlled and relaxed environment. And Joseph Waugh developed systematic desensitization in the 1950s to treat phobias and anxiety disorders. What is a secondary reinforcer? A secondary reinforcer is a learned reinforcer that is associated with primary reinforcers, such as money or praise. For example, when you are training a dog, you give the command, sit. That is the primary reinforcer. And the secondary reinforcer would be a treat. So you tell your dog to sit, and when they sit, you give them a treat. Which psychosocial intervention applies tangible triggers to remind a client of their experiences? A. Reality orientation, B. Remnants therapy, C. Solution focused therapy, D. Cognitive behavior therapy. The answer is B. Remnants therapy is a psychosocial intervention that applies tangible triggers to remind a client of their experiences. This type of therapy will encourage an individual to recall and share positive memories of the past and important life events, and it usually helps individuals with Alzheimer's and dementia. What is secondary trauma? Secondary trauma is the stress that is experienced by professionals due to exposure of other people's trauma. For example, as clinicians and counselors will most likely have secondary trauma because we are hearing about our clients' firsthand experience of their own trauma, and that is causing us some sort of stress to which we have to go to therapy for. A job test which predicted future performance on a job very well would A. have high criterion or predictive validity, B. have excellent face validity, C. have excellent construct validity, D. not have incremental validity or synthetic validity. The answer is A. A job test would predict future performance on a job, but very well would have high criterion or predictive validity. There are tests that will measure independent or external criterion, and in this case, it would predict the future of job performances. Tests that will predict each component can then be combined to improve the selection process. I would highly recommend looking into a variety of validity, such as face, construct, incremental, and synthetic validity, to help understand the different types of validity that are in testing. That is all 5 questions for this episode. Thank you for listening. Keep calm and study on. That is all 5 questions for this episode. Thank you for listening. Keep calm and study on.